You're welcome back to Breakfast Daily Weekend right here on ChannelOne TV. Interesting performance gone by there with great Decto. Duncan, stop that. Right, we're going to our home improvement segment right now, and we're talking roofing, choosing the right materials for your home. When it comes to roofing, what exactly do you think about? Or do you just go with the trends? Oh, this color is nice, so let me just pick that. And joining us is our usual Selim the Dream Maker, interior designer and project manager and founder of Acento Projects Limited.
Acento.
Let me tell you why Jude is excited.
Acento.
Let me tell you why Jude is excited. Because Selim
don't do this.
is an old girl
Don't do this.
of roses. And he's been telling her that they break hearts too much. So at this point, Jude has had his heart broken by St. Rose's girl. We all agree to
Mention that St. Rose's girl. It's not true.
It's a statement of fact.
You are just following rumors.
It's a statement of fact that I'm happy Selim is here.
Okay.
And it is also true.
And by the way, she
That
came bearing gifts.
Yeah, we're excited. And it is also very true that the school she went to, they like breaking people's hearts. They be breaking.
At this point,
they
Jude, your heart has been broken.
worrying young boys.
Tell me which Rose's girl broke your heart.
Oh, I can't.
You had a crush? You had a girlfriend? You had
No, I'm speaking on behalf of a friend.
Wasi.
Wine build elevates.
Yeah, I sent to.
It's the St. Rose's girl who gave it to you.
They'll design a thing for you. Then they'll help you build the thing. Let me not go there.
You see, a St. Rose's girl cares about you.
People are correct. You know, if they want to be nice, they are really nice.
We are nice.
But if they want to do the other thing,
we are nice. It ends there.
you cry pepper like you. Anyway.
It is fine. It is well.
Oh yeah, it's all,
Hi,
it's
all
good.
Hi,
how are you doing? Don't mind
fine.
you.
I know you just speaking on rumors. Please.
I'll tell you somebody's true life situation. I tell you, this is what I'm talking about.
Somebody.
No.
Somebody.
No.
So they were talking roofing, types, pros, cons,
Yes.
etc. Maybe the obvious is there that it roofs your home.
Yes.
But what's the importance of, roofing?
Anyway, okay, so good morning once again. Roofing, yes, it roofs your home, right? Honestly, I don't know, maybe this might be debatable, but the roofing might probably, let me say, be the most important element, right, or aspect of the entire construction. You know, when you are raising a building to live in yourself or whatever, for whatever purpose, until the roof is added, most of the time, a lot can be done. You know, there are some instances where people, the house is not completed, but the moment it is roofed, you can live in. You get it? So it really adds a lot. It serves a very important purpose on the construction journey. Do you get it? Hence, the reason why you don't really need to joke about whatever you decide to choose for your roofing. Right, being it the design, the color, the material, right? If you're choosing the roof for your house, most of the time, let me even ask you, what do you consider, or which is usually your preference? Which of the styles?
I think the olden days, right, where they had the sort of like not the aluminum, the bricks that Legon campus.
Clay.
Legon campus.
Yes.
You see the way the roofing.
Yeah.
You know, it's classy. You know, it's
true.
classy.
That's true.
But I like the fact that modern ones now have the rain harvester, where you're able to harvest rainwater for other uses like gardening and stuff like that. So, modernity, I appreciate the style of the old ones. Is it it's cement, right?
It's clay.
Clay.
Yeah.
Wow. So I appreciate.
That's heavy.
Yeah. I appreciate the style of the old. Yeah. I appreciate the style of the olden days, but the extra features of the modern ones.
Extra features.
Yeah, like rain harvesting.
So you want
primarily.
you want both.
I understand some of them also are like heat resistance and all of that.
Yes,
so that's quite interesting.
Yes, mostly. Based on the material. Yes, that's glass.
I don't know if you can do that in Ghana.
You can.
It'll be hot.
Well. Those are all some of the pointers you need to consider. You get based on your location, where in particular are you building the house? You get it? So you want to, Jude mentioned the University of Ghana kind of, I mean, I am very modern, I mean, a very contemporary person, but that's one of the main features of University of Ghana structures I really admire. You see, I mean, and you see, it makes it easily stands out. Anytime probably the first thing I used to notice, this is University of Ghana campus.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Yes. It's quite unique and very traditional and durable as well. Very durable as well, and those usually also help prevent too much heat. Yes, the clay especially, you know, it really helps to actually prevent a lot of heat. But this time around, contemporary trends and aesthetics, and there are so many other options now. If you can see from the pictures right on the screen, right, these days people are, opting for the new trend now, which is the hidden and the flat roof. Right, the hidden and the flat roof seems to be, especially in Accra, the hidden and it tends to be quite cost effective as compared to maybe, you know, there's the hip roof, the A-frame, the one you were asking if it's glass, that kind of shape. The A-frame, the gable and the hip seems to be the most common design. The one that looks like a triangle, mostly in Ghana here. Yes, those two options, but people still go for those options, and then there are those ones who, some people just like to follow trend. Let me put it that way, yes. I mean, it looks nice. Again, the hidden and the flat roof mostly give a very minimalistic and modern look to it. And in most cases, a lot of people claim to be minimalists, yes.
Until you go inside.
For quite some people too, it's also, you know, they opt for the particular kind of roofing because of style and preference.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, in modern times, we've seen people also opt for the open rooftop kind of thing, right? In fact, in Accra's nightlife scene, if you have a rooftop, you make a lot of money because people like to have fun in open roof spaces.
Yes.
Even here in ChannelOne, you have like an open rooftop kind of thing, right? Is it a better alternative? Is it less costly? Is it, you know, relatively cheaper than actually roofing and putting metals and you know what I'm talking about, like the open roof spaces?
Exactly. I mean, so you see, those are some
For
of the
high-rise
pros.
buildings,
Yes, those are some of the pros of the flat roof and the hidden roof. I mean, style, right? I mentioned earlier, it's actually more cost-effective as compared to the entire roof with the metal here and there, right? Again, it gives you that opportunity to have, I mean, a good use for the rooftop. That's where all these idea of rooftop, if you're going to use the A-frame and the gable and all those kind of styles, you pretty much have no use for the rest of the structure.
Yeah.
You get it? But if you go for that option, you have mostly, it doesn't even take much roofing sheets. Yes, as compared to the other styles, right? That is one option. You have the opportunity to use the rest of the structure for whatever purpose. Usually it makes it easy if you want to continue the structure as well.
Okay.
You get it? So maybe you have intentions of adding more floors, but not now. So, I mean, in the time being, let me just use it for a patio. Or maybe if it's a commercial space, let me just use it for a pub. Or just, I mean, for my own sake, probably a certain area. Do you get it? So it gives you all those opportunities as compared to all the other styles you are seeing. Do you get it? So most of the time, people prefer that flexibility. People prefer that flexibility alongside the aesthetics and the looks. And yes, I mean, yes. So those are all the other options also do have their pros and cons, but this style, although it looks nice, it looks minimal, very modern, and all these things too, but it has its own issues. Maybe, let me put it that way.
Let's talk about the materials.
Yeah.
So you've spoken about clay. I know there's aluminium.
Yes, metal.
Is there a Lucobond? Or is that not what it's called? It's like that one.
Yes.
Is that a Lucobond?
Yes.
Or what's it
No,
called?
sometimes no. Sometimes some of them are Lucobond. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then there's metal. That there's different types of aluminum. They're different. Or some of them look like a Lucobond, but they are not a Lucobond.
Okay.
Yes, and then these days there's even the rise of the use of solar panels actually to replace the entire roof. So in this case, you have two functions in one. You get it? It's giving you the roof and at the same time, light, energy. So you have the opportunity to choose between, and then there's the clay, the metal, yes, and sometimes some people even use concrete. They have a way of molding it. It's just like the clay. Yes, they have a way of molding it to give that kind of look as well.
How expensive are these,
I know, right?
these options that you mentioned to us?
So, well, for clay seems to be quite cheaper. Yes, except that it takes a lot of time. It goes through a lot of procedures, right? As compared to the metal. But comparing clay and metal, the aluminium, yes, the aluminium is usually less costly. The solar, as you all know,
3 million Ghana cedis.
the solar, as you all know, I mean, the clay is quite expensive, but at least it can go for so many years without years. It can go for, talk about the University of Ghana one.
Yeah.
I don't even know how often they maintain it or whatever they do to it, but how many years now since the university was, built? But I don't know, I can't have facts whether they've replaced it at any point in time or probably yes. But those ones can really go the test of time. Yes, but cost, so for cost, it depends. It depends on the material. Some are quite really high, others too. For the fact of the solar panels, for instance, they are very expensive. But also think of the fact that it is giving you actually two functions in one. Yeah, you get it. At the end of the day, you're not really buying, even if you're buying roofing sheets, not much. Yeah. Right, or entirely no roofing sheets at all. At the same time, it's giving you energy. You get
Can you use wood as your roofing?
You can, but then also think of the other sides as well. I know there are places, I mean, when you go to some of the remote places, yes, those are some of the options, but again, can it withstand the weather in that area, particular area, do you get? Because some of the roof designs are not so good for certain weathers, especially for windy areas. Yes, especially for windy areas. So for rain, I mean, how do you call it? Locations with so much rainfall, for instance. The wood might not be, because wood is a very delicate material. Although it's also quite expensive. Wood is quite delicate, which means it needs frequent maintenance. Yeah,
and treatment.
Exactly, and treatment. So are you ready for that?
But are there like pros to using the wood? We talked a lot about the negatives. It sure should have some positives, right? Does it keep your room, for example, much cooler?
Yes, just like the clay. If you go to the villages, they have the straw. I mean, those are all some of the options. You get it? Those are very good for the weather. You get it? They are very good for the weather. However, I mean, they are very also cheap cost, effective. You get it? But wood, again, like I said, for cost, I would always say anything made with pure wood is expensive. Do you get it? Anything made with pure wood is expensive, considering how much you put inside and the processes it goes through to be able to make it usable.
My friends who are building tell me that the roofing is the most difficult part of the process. Of course, after foundation,
most of the time, yeah.
Because foundation, you know, that's where the money is being sunk.
Exactly.
But they say if you finish your foundation, is it flowing or flowing? You have a word they say. Anyway.
Flowing is when you are continuing.
When you are continuing. Yeah. But they say the roofing is the most difficult and capital-intensive part of the building process. You agree?
Yeah.
Wow, and it's irrespective of the design of it.
Yes, you see, I mean, apart from what you are seeing in the design, on the picture, a lot goes into the structure. Do you get it? The wood, you need wood trusses, wood wall ceiling joints. Actually, the amount of wood required to be able to create the shape before you put on the roofing sheet. Yeah. So most of the time, you only see the roofing sheet.
Exactly. And all of those things.
Most of the time, you are only seeing the finished work.
Yeah.
And it takes time to
do it.
Exactly.
And the roofing sheets are expensive out here.
He said.
He said,
He said.
At Chasako house, we go build some.
Building is a cost-intensive thing.
Building is a very, cost-effective and, how do you call it, stressful. You need to have the time and
to
patience.
Just ask questions.
That's why some people would offer, I mean, a finished work, sell it to me, let me just buy it, because they're not ready for that journey.
Kenyan artisans will stress you. Wow. Unless you go and see salon.
Building is not an easiest. Come and see me.
Wow.
Unless you go and see salon.
Come and see me.
We'll see.
You see what? You see what?
So let's talk about maintenance.
Yeah.
So with clay, I'm assuming that there will be a time where there'll be what is this? Algae.
Yes.
And then with the aluminium, there's you know, when it rains, you realize that my roof is leaking.
Yes.
So yeah, talk to us about the maintenance of these various types of roofs.
So under the clay aspect and the algae, I think for me, that is probably one of the major challenges. Yes, I wouldn't even call it a challenge though, but some people don't really mind. So
it'll go from looking red to some green or brown really or something.
Because of the rain and the sunshine here and there, I mean, the color will definitely change, yes. Yeah. But you see, there are ways you can clean it. Just that it costs. Now with the aluminium, most of the time, the style, the design is what determines. Some of the designs, I mean, you are very okay when it comes to leakage, yes. But most of the time, the flat roofs and there are some other designs that most of the time builds up water. Yes, if you don't have enough very good drainage on top of the ceiling or roof, sorry, that is where you have leakage issues most of the time. So if it is not properly done, the installation was not properly done, or sometimes the flat roof. Yeah. Even with that design, usually they try to tilt it slightly to help with drainage. Yes, exactly. And all of that. So I mean, again, until it's not properly done, yes. But if it's just rainfall and leakage for leakage, I mentioned earlier with the flat roof and the hidden roof, that is one of the major challenges. That's actually, so far, that's the main, the known challenge of that kind of design. You should be ready for leakage issues. Right. But then it requires very good expertise to be able to solve or to make it and make it well. Yes, so when you are choosing that design, do not just hand it over to anybody to do it for you. Yes, do not just hand it over to just anybody. No, be ready to spend. If not, you would have to deal with leakage issues for the rest of your life.
Oh my, you don't want that.
Exactly, you don't want that.
Wow, wow, wow. Why are you looking at her like that?
What are you thinking?
Roofing sheet alone. What are you thinking? Foundation.
Yeah, but don't worry, by the time you get there, you'd have spent so much that this is not even...
It's not even a headache. I have to enjoy the good things of life.
You see, so when you finish and you're moving in, you know that, yes, I spent a lot of money. Let me enjoy my house.
I think somewhere last week, there was a funny video. Somebody posted, right, on X, Twitter, a video of, I think, like Hollywood, the Boulevard, like the nice, I think it was actually California or so. Okay. Like, Charlie, some really, really nice houses, you know. And he was like, so the Twitter user I'm referring to quoted the tweet and said, "Father Lord, I can't spend my whole life in Bubuashi." And I was even like, the tweet, it touched me.
He's not lying.
Because like, I also can't spend my whole life in Kanishi.
He's not lying.
We very small now, then they got that choke, and traffic. Then, sometimes you can be sleeping there, people will be honking. Charlie, the streets dirty. I have to see, you know, the fine things.
Go to Trasacco, go to Regiment, they are there.
Actually, I roofing sheets I can't buy now. You know, Charlie.
But do people still use the traditional roofing sheets?
People do.
The huts.
They do?
Yeah. People do.
I went to my hometown one time and I saw some of them actually modern buildings, right? So for example, the main family house was still fine, but they were like smaller chalets, what you call it, and they had huts on it.
Huts on them, yeah.
And it was quite interesting because inside the room was quite modern,
yeah.
But it was intriguing to see that they had like the huts kind of thing outside.
Those are styles that are all seem to be, I mean, coming back from time to time. I mean, people seem to really appreciate some of those things. If you go to, like he's saying, it's a modern house, but they just decided to add that feel to it. People cherish.
But can you do that for like a main house or like for gazebos and stuff like that?
That's
You're going to use straw.
I think when we went to Maha, right? I think when we went to Maha, I think I saw something similar.
Yeah, the chalets have.
With the hats on it, like that.
Yeah, the chalets have straw and stuff in it. But
that
was...
for seaside.
I mean, how long are you going to be there?
It's true.
It's an experience. It's actually...
If it's your main house, if it's your primary house you live in, I mean, that's one of the major challenges, I mean, disadvantages of those kind of materials.
Pun not intended, but if fire falls, you'll be really hot.
It's true. It's true.
Wow.
So you consider all these things, these issues, right?
Are there fireproof materials for roofing?
Fireproof, maybe. I would go for the clay option. Clay and then probably concrete. All the others, even the metal, the aluminum, I can't really trust it. Yes, the clay at least can hold the fire for a longer time before it starts to,
Oh, so I've adjusted my questions. If there's anything that I've not asked you want to answer.
Let's talk about your house. That's building.
I wanted to talk about why St. Rose's girls are like that.
Like
why
how?
they like breaking people's hearts. But
no, mention which girl broke your heart. Oh, that friend whose heart was broken.
I said somebody has broken my heart.
Okay, that friend. Thank you. Okay, whose friend was
St. Rose's? Hey.
On behalf,
how many people do you know there?
We are thankful to St. Rose's girls for breaking Jude's heart. At least he has something to talk about.
But to be fair, shout outs to the team for your event, right? 3 million Ghana cedis, that's what you are hoping to raise.
Yes.
To do what?
So the school is going green. We are trying to move the school to solar.
Is that your idea? The way you're sitting here talking about roofing and things.
I'm sure she's on a coordinating council.
I'm on a planning committee.
Do procurement. You've not got to push it and push for procurement.
See you. I'm not.
She's part of the planning
I'm just part of the planning committee. In fact, I'm not even close to that committee. I am in the publicity committee.
You are here talking. I'll give you free time to talk about it.
See you. St. Rose's girls, if you have broken his heart, please.
It's not a joke. They'll break your heart. They'll do it. Charlie, they'll do it. Can we be friends?
On behalf of Jude's broken heart.